I'm John Stewart. Welcome to the first episode of a series of podcasts we're going to do. Or at least I think it's going to be a series that literally might just be one really long podcast. We're not really sure yet. But we're just going to basically look at every team in the NBA, kind of just put them in classifications like based on how good they are, how good we feel they're going to be, like just true contenders, really good teams, teams that have no chance, etc., etc., etc. But I'm here with my friend, Alex Shamet.
Hi guys, I'm Alex, also known as John, and this is why it's called the Jawns of Basketball Podcast, because we're both named John, and in case you didn't know, John is also the name of a thing in like Eastern Philly and stuff like that.
It literally just means thing.
Yeah, not a lot of people know that.
I didn't.
Yeah, you didn't. So welcome to the Jawns of Basketball Podcast.
Very cool. And before we start, I feel like we should just point out that obviously there's going to be some bias in relation to some of the teams. I'm a Celtics fan. I've always been a Celtics fan. I'm huge on Jason and Jalen, so obviously I'm going to be super duper high on them when we talk about them, which we're going to do this episode. And
I'm from Philly, so I have a poster of Ben Simmons hanging above my bed at home. So probably going to be a little biased towards him.
The 1 point god.
Exactly.
Easiest series of the playoffs for us.
Well, Ben Simmons scored a point.
One. Was that game 4 or game 3?
I don't remember. I tried to erase that from my head. I was there for a Heat game though.
Were you really?
Yeah, I was wearing the Phantom of the Opera mask and everything. I got on
that's
ESPN.
hilarious. That's hilarious. Did you really?
Yeah, I'll show you later.
Hilarious. Awesome. All right, so we're just gonna jump in and get started. So the first team, the best team in the league, Golden State. There's not much to say. They're really good. They can switch onto everybody.
Right.
They shoot threes at an unbelievable clip and percentage.
Mm-hmm.
Steph Curry's phenomenal. Kevin Durant's probably a top 5 player of all time.
Well, all time. You think Kevin Durant's top 5 all
and
time?
We already ran into some disagreements.
Kevin Durant is not top 5 player of all time. You think he's like better than Shaq?
Yeah.
You think Kevin Durant's more dominant than Shaq?
Well, I don't know. In different ways. I mean, Shaq was extremely one-dimensional.
That's fair.
If you look at how Kevin Durant plays the game, I mean, he can score he can dunk on anybody because he's 6'11" with an insane wingspan. He can shoot the mid-range. He's probably one of the best mid-range scorers of all time. He shoots threes at a phenomenal rate. He can play defense. He can protect the rim. He can rebound. He can pass. He's just so good at everything.
But how are you supposed to be a top 5 player of all time if you're not even a top player in your era? Like, he's not even. He's never even been the best player while he was playing.
Because he's playing with the best player of all time. If you put him in any other era, apart from Jordan's era, and maybe I don't know, it depends where you put Bill Russell.
Right, or like Hakeem, or like not even Hakeem. I mean like what's his face, Kareem.
I don't like. Okay, whatever. All right, so
anyway,
before we start, whatever. We'll drop that. We'll talk about it another day.
Yeah.
All right. Warriors, extremely good. Play defense, space the floor.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about the Warriors?
The only thing about the Warriors is they're obviously a true contender. Just don't get discouraged if they're like the 2nd or 3rd seed coming into the season.
I could see them not even trying.
I can see them not trying. They're gonna have like Kevon Looney at center for a lot of the year, so don't expect that to turn out too well.
Who was the guy who's been playing center?
Is it Jordan Bell?
Not Jordan Bell. I forget what his name is. Jeez.
You sure it's not Kevon?
I don't think it's Kevon Looney.
Could be Damian Jones.
Damian Jones, that's who it is.
Damian Jones. They have like a rotation of a bunch of bums that they're going to play at center.
Just like 2nd round picks that they've just kind of accumulated.
What do you think's going to happen when Boogie comes back?
That's the only way that I can see this team like actually being challenged. I legitimately think that there is a chance that DeMarcus Cousins comes and really hurts this team.
Right.
Because when he's in the game, their ability to switch on players stops to an extent. Like let's say they're playing Boston in the finals, which I think is a fair assumption.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
He can't guard Al Horford. He can't guard Al Horford for a minute. Al Horford is just too good of a ball handler and too elusive for him to guard.
Right.
Also, what really makes the Warriors offensively phenomenal besides Steph Curry being able to shoot from 38 feet away from the basket.
Of course, and Clay.
And Kevin Durant.
And
But besides that is Steve Kerr runs a great offense. They pass, and they're phenomenal.
Right.
DeMarcus Cousins is not a good passer.
He's a pretty good passer.
No, I don't think he is. You
don't think he is?
He gets good assist numbers.
But turnovers
His
is what
turnover
you're saying?
numbers are terrible.
Oh, yeah, his turnover numbers are insane. I've seen them before.
For you guys, give me 2 seconds. I'm pulling up Basketball Reference.
Mm-hmm. But one thing that he can help them with, though, is, like, nobody can guard every player in that starting lineup. There's not a single team that can guard every player in the starting lineup.
Boston's close.
Boston's close. But they can't.
Who's Aaron Baines? I mean,
Aaron Baines.
That's all you can do with DeMarcus Cousins, isn't it? Really?
But you have to put him in for Cousins. But then that means that you can't really have. You can have Horford at power forward, but you can't. He plays best at center, and you can't really have that for everybody.
You're right. I mean, obviously, even if you could guard Kevin Durant, even if you have the people who can guard Kevin Durant,
right?
No one can really guard Kevin Durant. No one can guard Steph Curry. No one can guard DeMarcus Cousins.
Exactly.
All right, let me get to
his. Kind of hope they miss.
He averaged 5 turnovers last year.
That is insane.
He averaged 5.4 assists and 5 turnovers. I personally think DeMarcus Cousins is one of the most overrated players in the league. Hot take, or do you agree?
It's hard to say because I think a lot of people know what DeMarcus Cousins is. I think a lot of people know that he's not a winning player, but he's really talented.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the whole term overrated, underrated is something is a completely different can of worms. Because it's hard to figure out what I think a consensus. There's no consensus on players. You know what I mean?
I mean, I feel like when you look at average the ESPN NBA fan,
that's fair.
They think Boogie is a top 10 player in the league, which is just utter bullshit.
Mm-hmm. That's true because look at those stats.
Yeah, I mean his stats are phenomenal. Box score, he is a phenomenal basketball player.
Right.
But I mean,
yeah, I can definitely see that. Another thing with the Warriors though is I feel like their bench depth somehow maintained itself.
Oh, it absolutely has.
I don't know how that happened.
Jordan Bell is good. Quinn Cook is okay. I feel like he's actually underrated.
Who? Quinn Cook?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that.
I feel like he's a legitimate, maybe not a second string point guard in the league, but a third string point guard. A legitimately good one.
Yeah, definitely.
I think he's considerably better than Shane Larkin. And Shane Larkin was great for Boston last year.
I think Quinn Cook's a good role player. I think that his shooting is been vastly improved. He shot really well from the field last year when he was given the chance.
He played at Duke, right?
I have no idea where Quinn Cook played in college.
He averaged 10 points. His shooting obviously the stats don't say everything.
No.
He averaged 10, 2.5, and then 2.5 on basically 50, 40, 4, 9, basically 50, 40, 90 shooting splits.
Yeah.
I mean, that's phenomenal shooting. I don't know how tall he is.
If that's your third string point guard too, that's some depth. Because I mean, I'd imagine Livingston would probably still be their primary backup guard.
And I mean, to be fair, the dude played 33 games.
He did play 33 games.
Did they bring him in halfway through the season, or was he?
It was because when Curry got hurt, he came in.
Okay.
Right.
Well, was he on the roster before, or did they sign him when? I don't know.
I don't know, but I know that he came in specifically when Curry got hurt. Because if you remember, that's another. Do you think the Warriors are going to be able to stay healthy too? Because there was one point last year where their big four were all injured at the same time.
Let's hold on to that for after. Let's talk about their bench players first.
Yeah,
because that's a 25-minute conversation.
That is absolutely true. Jonas Jerebko is
phenomenal.
I agree.
He was really good in Boston. He was great in Utah. He's just more shooting off the bench.
Which is what they actually need, shooting off the bench, because they don't have a lot of it.
Iggy and Livingston obviously are great, but that is also the shooting off the bench problem. Yeah. But here's the thing. They have so many good players since they have Curry, Durant, and Steph.
Yeah.
3 generational shooters. They can cycle in at any time.
Right, exactly. They're going to stagger their minutes.
Yeah, they're going to stagger their minutes, so shooting's never going to be a problem. But
yeah,
I mean, they have a bench 5 of what looks like Jordan Bell, Iggy, Jerebko, Livingston, and Quinn Cook. Or unless there's another Patrick McCaw. Patrick McCaw will definitely play.
Right. Well, if he ever signs. Is Nick Young? Okay, no, Nick Young's not.
Oh, fuck. Patrick McCaw. Because
he declined his qualifying option, even though his agent told him he was an idiot.
I forgot about that.
Yep. Oh, Tyler Ulis is on this team? What? When that happened?
Was he the dude who played in Phoenix?
He was the dude that played in Phoenix. Remember he beat the Celtics that one game?
Winner.
Yep.
Because IT lost the ball.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Apparently he's on the Warriors now. Because, I mean, who even cares?
He's not good, but...
No.
Okay.
He's worse IT, I think.
Nick Young is still a free agent. Looking at their roster.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Honestly, why doesn't Milwaukee sign him?
I don't know why nobody does. I feel
he's. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's a 40% 3-point shooter. Question mark.
He definitely was before last. I think he had an off season last season. Pretty sure.
No, 37.7%. That's phenomenal.
It's not even bad.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah. I mean, 7.3 points, too, coming off the bench for the best team in the league. It's pretty good.
No problem. He played 80 games.
Yeah.
I mean, his defense. I remember watching him in the playoffs against Houston. His defense wasn't phenomenal, obviously, but it was
Serviceable for a bench player.
not definitely. I don't
Yeah.
know. That's weird. Maybe teams have something that we don't.
So-
Okay, back to anybody else. Kevon Looney's kind of cool.
Yeah, he's there.
He's a rim runner.
He's going to be a starter, so we'll see how that goes.
I don't think he's gonna start.
You think Jordan Bell is?
He should.
Jordan Bell definitely should.
He's just more athletic.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they'll start Iggy. Dead ass. Or they might just start Jonas and just go.
I could see Jonas starting and putting Draymond at the 5.
I mean, they have Kevin Durant, who really is a 5. Let's be real.
Kevin Durant's a 5.
I mean,
you?
I mean, like
He's not a 5. Just because you're tall doesn't mean you're a 5.
Yeah, his blocks are phenomenal. Like he's an amazing rim protector and he's a great rebounder.
But he's more of like, I'm pretty sure he's more of like a weak side rim protector. Like I'm pretty sure he's more the kind of guy that would come up from the weak side and block a shot instead of just like
opposed to
botting
like an Aaron Baines rim protector who doesn't really get blocks, but
Right.
protects the rim. You're right. He's not a 5, but I'm just trying to make the point that in a
could.
pinch, you could play 1 through 5.
Oh, definitely.
That's
I agree
fine.
with that.
That's fine. But I mean, I don't know who their starters are going to be, but this team is deep. They have role players who are veterans, and they have young guys, and they have athletic guys, and
Right.
4 generational scorers.
I think really the only question is if they can stay healthy. That's really the only question is whether they win.
KD has only been out, had like 1 serious injury. I'm not worried about that. I'm not
Right.
really worried about Draymond or Clay either. But DeMarcus, I think he could come back and be a totally different player. Like,
Definitely.
I think he could come back and just not be the same dude,
Mhm.
not be the same scorer.
And then Stephen, you always have to worry about Curry.
Steph's ankles are suspect.
You always have to worry about Curry.
Yeah.
The one thing that I think people don't realize is that like that's why they almost lost to the Rockets. It's because Iggy was out that whole series.
I forgot about it.
So if you take Iggy out of the equation, like you really
I
have
don't
to think
know.
about how good they still are.
I don't know.
against those kind of teams.
I don't know how good Iggy is anymore. I don't think he's that phenomenal.
I mean, the Rockets were about to beat them.
Well, yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I just think I don't think Iggy being out was the reason why Houston was going to beat them. I think the reason why Houston was going to beat them was just that Houston was legitimately probably a top 4 offensive team of all time.
Okay,
Top 6, my bad.
top 6. Well, who do you put ahead of them?
Okay. Warriors with Durant, obviously.
Right.
The Cleveland team with Kyrie, LeBron, and Kevin Love was phenomenal offensively.
Okay. What about the Suns? 7 seconds or less.
7 seconds.
Do you like them
Suns.
more?
Then Houston.
They're both Mike D'Antoni. They're basically just different versions of what Mike D'Antoni wants
I
to
feel
do.
like this is Mike D'Antoni's most advanced form. I mean, I think you put Showtime Lakers in that just because they played so fast.
Right. I don't know.
I don't know. It's not because I would even put like Denver right now as like a top 15 offense of all time, top 10 offense of all time.
Right.
And it's not because of the players that they have. It's just because of how the league is adapted and the fact that we shoot more 3-pointers and play a lot faster.
And it's easier. We don't even play a lot faster, actually. The
We
fastest
don't.
teams ever played was in like the 60s and 70s.
Frizzle.
That's why Wilt was able to get like 50 and 20 like that. There were more possessions. In today's game, he would have gotten like 39 and like maybe 15 or something.
That's still phenomenal.
Yeah.
Still phenomenal.
So, you know what? We're talking about Houston. Should we move on to them now?
Honestly, I have the first few teams in order. Do you want to go through
let's
in
go with
order
them.
and
Yeah.
do that? Okay. So, Celtics. Do you think the Celtics are the second best team in the league? This is I believe they are. Obviously, it's clouded. My judgment's clouded because I'm a fan, but
I'd say that if everybody comes back the way that we think they will,
and Gordon Hayward is the same player. That
that's
he
what I'm
was.
saying. Then yes, but I think that that's a big if because I think Gordon Hayward. It's not guaranteed that he'll come back as the same player, and it's starting to get to a point where I'm a little worried about Kyrie getting hurt all the time because he gets hurt a fair amount.
You're right. You're very right.
So that's another word. I feel like people underrate like durability in the NBA. Like I feel like people completely forget about durability when they're talking about the best players, but that's like one of the most important parts of the game. And
Well,
like,
yeah. I mean,
where-
if you can't play, or
you can't play.
if you can't play, you can't play.
Exactly.
But with regards to Boston, my voice cracked. That's embarrassing. But
All right.
what was I going to say? In regards to Gordon Hayward coming back, we had this conversation yesterday, I think.
Mhm.
Paul George is the best comparison. Like, obviously what happened to his leg is terrible.
Right.
But if you look at people who have broke their leg, they come back pretty okay.
Definitely. Wasn't it an ankle thing?
It was an ankle and leg.
Right. Okay.
Is it tibia in your leg? Just look that
I'm
up.
not gonna be stupid on the podcast and say that.
I believe
I have
I'm
no
wrong.
idea.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
there you go.
he did. I think he fucked up his tibia.
Okay.
But all right, back to the thing. But I mean, like, it's not an ACL, it's not an Achilles. Those are far worse for player performance when they come back from the injury.
Right.
Obviously, the injury was gruesome as fuck, and it was disgusting and terrible and gross, and oof. I still see it when I close my eyes every night. But
yeah. Who doesn't?
Seriously. But I don't think he's gonna be bad when he comes back.
I don't think he's gonna be bad.
He might lose some athleticism, but that's not what makes Gordon Hayward good.
No, he's a better shooter, isn't he?
He's a phenomenal shooter. He's like a 40% three-point shooter. But what makes Gordon Hayward good is not athleticism. It's the fact that he is good at literally every other facet of basketball. Right. The dude can shoot, dribble, pass, and defend. And he's 6'7". There's like 15 players in the league who can do that.
Right. You think Luka Doncic is one of them? Sidetrack.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a little.
Yeah, in like 3 hours.
Yeah.
But yes, Luka Doncic is fantastic.
We'll get past the Celtics in 3 hours at this rate.
Yeah, I know, really.
So I think. Do you think they have any chance against the Warriors? Let's start with that.
Oh, can we talk about Kyrie first?
Let's talk about Kyrie.
Okay. In regards to injuries, I'm worried about Kyrie.
Me too.
I have no idea. I'm excited that he said he's going to resign, which is really cool. Do we give him a 4-year max?
I don't know. I mean, like,
would I give him a 2+1 max? Of course.
Yeah, definitely.
But the thing is, I don't know what super max what he applies for with this team. Like, I don't know the super max. Like, he doesn't apply for a James Harden / Steph Curry super max because
maybe like John Wall's.
That's the same one. Maybe he did. Yes, but I don't think he does apply for those because he hasn't played in Boston long enough. He has played on the same team for a while, I believe, unless I'm mistaken.
That makes sense. They've all been.
But let's say we give him a little bit more than the Gordon Hayward max,
right?
Because I think he applies for more because he's made all NBA teams.
Mm-hmm.
Has Kyrie made all NBA teams?
Kyrie's definitely made all NBA teams. There's no way he hasn't, dude.
Let's fact check that real quick.
Yeah, because like you need 6 guards for an NBA. There's no way he's not a top 6 guard in the NBA.
People think DeMar DeRozan is a top 6 guard. They're some stupid.
Let's say
16. Okay, yeah, he's been on twice.
Yeah. Okay.
So yes, I don't know how many you have to get to apply for it, but regardless, let's say he gets paid $35 million a year.
Right.
That's a lot of money.
Especially with all the rookies that you're going to have to start paying.
They could legitimately be pressed against not the salary cap because obviously bird rights is going to allow them to extend Tatum, Brown, Rozier, Robert Williams, whatever. Hard cap.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they would be the first team in NBA history to ever run to the hard cap. Don't quote me on that.
I don't know.
Maybe Cleveland got close when LeBron was there.
Right. Well, you know who the highest paid team in the league is now?
Miami.
Yeah, they're actually kind of close.
To the hard cap, really.
I think so. They're like 40 mil at least above luxury.
What? I don't know. I'd have to spend like an hour actually reading about that stuff. But,
yeah.
But regardless, they're going to be in a bunch of financial trouble. But I think if Danny Ainge knows that they can win, I don't think he cares. I don't think the owner cares either. I forget what the owner's name is.
Really? I mean, Danny Ainge is the kind of guy to be one step ahead of the curve, too.
Yeah.
Because if you notice, he's been giving players a lot of tradable contracts. Like Mark Smart, very tradable contract, like a mid kind of salary.
Well, yeah, because they needed to have that tradable contract. Because if you look at their roster construction, their contract construction, that's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Rookie steal contracts, minimum deals, Marcus Morris, and then max deals.
Which is terrible for trading.
Terrible for trading, but in the grand team scheming,
that's how you do it.
Yeah, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
But if this team is all healthy, if Kyrie comes back, which is a huge if, I'm not a doctor. I mean, obviously he's going to come back.
Right.
He's played and he looked fine. But he's going to be good. Whatever.
So here's the question. 2 years down the road, you have Kyrie, Brown, Tatum, and Hayward. Who do you keep? You can keep 2.
Brown and Tatum, obviously.
You get rid of Hayward and Kyrie?
Yeah, of course.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So then I think that's going to have to happen eventually.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, because I think what's going to happen, I think that Horford is going to decline his player option, sign like a 4-year, $15 million deal.
Right.
Because they definitely overpaid for him, and I feel like it's almost a JJ Redick-esque thing, like where Redick got overpaid, but now he'll take less than his current value.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I feel like Horford's going to do that because I feel like he wants to win. I think he knows that Kyrie Irving has to make his money.
Right.
and they're going to have to extend those players. And I feel like he's cool with that.
I feel like he seems like a relatively like non-ego kind of player.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to have a huge
And
ego.
I feel like he'd take that sacrifice. I feel like Kyrie also would to an extent if he really does like Boston, like he says he does. And
Yeah, I don't know. Kyrie's just a weird person.
Mhm.
Like I can't trust anything he says.
no, you can't. He's weird.
Mhm.
He's weird. All right, so let's talk about this team. Let's look at roster construction.
Right.
Starting five, phenomenal. They have
Oh, yeah.
5 players who can dribble, pass, and shoot.
Right.
Not a lot of teams. Well, there's one other team that can say that. Golden State.
Obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, Golden State. But real quick, why is Aaron Baines a small forward on this?
Yeah, I want to see what happens if you play Aaron Baines at small forward.
Yeah, we're on ESPN. And
Pretty sure he's gonna eat somebody.
yeah, they have Aaron Baines as a small forward. But yeah, this team's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
They're defensively, they're great. 3-point shooting, they're great. Rebounding, they were, as you said, suspiciously good, right?
Rebounding, they have a lot of players that are good at rebounding. Everybody on the team is pretty good at rebounding, with the
Opposed to,
exception of Kyrie.
Yeah, I mean, Al Horford's like, okay.
He's-
Compared to centers, like, but in the grand scheme of things, he's good.
Yeah.
But they have a bunch of 6'7" people who
Right.
are very athletic, and they have Gordon Hayward
And
He's
Terry Rozier, who's a really good rebounder.
Marcus
point
Smart's
guard,
a good rebounder.
Smart,
Aaron Baines is a good rebounder.
and tons of wing players. And I mean, if you play out, what they did to like kind of help the rebounding last year was they played Al Horford at power forward with Baines at center
That's
sometimes.
so gross. That's gross. It's gross.
Which that was part of why they were such a good rebounding team. Those lineups, like
Those
rebounding.
lineups are disgusting. Al Horford is not a power forward.
He's not a power forward.
I will die for that fact. But I mean, in regards to that, they're obviously going to have to do that. Like when they play Philadelphia,
Right.
when they play, if Boogie is good,
When they play Boogie, obviously.
if they get to the finals, obviously they're going to have to do that.
And then
Like I don't even like
there really aren't too many centers like that anymore.
like Cat's good, but I'm not that worried. I'd probably just still play the normal lineup.
Nah. What about like somebody like Steven Adams? If you have Steven Adams, what?
I mean, like I wouldn't put Aaron Baines in.
You would?
No.
Steven Adams is going to offensive rebound all over your team if you don't put Baines in.
Well, the Thunder will just internal because they're a great rebounding team.
But yeah,
But I mean, I don't really care. I'd rather just have the extra shooting and just score them out of the water. Because that's the problem with the Thunder.
you can't score the Thunder out of the water.
Yes, you can. The Thunder are going to be not a good offensive team this year. They have no 3-point
They're
shooting.
going to be a good defensive team.
They're going to be a fantastic defensive and rebounding team, but they just won't score.
Right. I can see that.
And Boston, that starting lineup can score however the fuck they want, and they have Brad Stevens as a coach, so we'll be all right.
I don't know. I think that the Thunder aren't going to be a horrible offensive team.
Let's talk about that when
We'll
we
get to
Thunder.
them. Yeah.
That's another 10-minute conversation.
Yeah.
But oh fuck, we need to do like record predictions. So for Golden
Yeah.
State, how many games?
For Golden State, I'm gonna say around what they had last year.
I'm gonna say 59.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say about 58. I'm gonna say 58.
I'm gonna say 59. So
That's fair.
we're different.
So 58.5 is basically what we're going for the
give
over
or-
under.
give or take.
Yeah.
But we're not trying to say, because I'm gonna have Boston above that win total. We're not trying to say Golden State is not the best team. They're right up there.
Okay, cool.
We're not trying to say that Golden State is not better than Boston. They obviously are better than Boston, but just based on conference, and Golden State's going to get bored and not really give a fuck.
Yep. Unless they want to go for the record, you never know.
Maybe they will. I doubt that.
I doubt it too, and they don't have any reason to at this point.
No, they really, really don't.
Because last time they did, they kind of saw what happened.
Yeah, they kind of got smoked by LeBron, but
Yeah,
we're not going to talk
absolutely.
about that. But
Talk to that in a little bit.
yeah,
So, what do you think that the record prediction is for the Celtics about?
I could see them winning 65 games. I have no problem saying that.
65?
No problem saying that.
I'm gonna
The East
go-
is weak. Brad Stevens is phenomenal.
Right.
They are just a great team. They have assets to make a trade, and
Yeah.
they're going to pick someone up over on the buyout market.
They're gonna, yeah, definitely.
I wouldn't be surprised if they got is it Jamal Crawford? Is he the guy? I always get Jamal Crawford and Jordan Crawford mixed up. Is
Jamal Crawford.
Jamal Crawford's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Because
Jordan Crawford's low key actually not even that bad.
he played in Boston for a while, I think.
I think so. He also played. He was really good on the Pelicans, and then they just randomly stopped playing him. Ooh, most underrated player in the league. I can't wait till we get to Memphis. There's a hidden ass gem in Memphis. No one knows about him. I'll tell you about him later.
Okay, when
But-
we get to Memphis, let me try to think about it for a minute.
Trying to think about who it is.
Yeah.
You'll never know.
Really?
There's no way.
Really?
No.
Okay.
So anyway,
Let's keep talking about Boston.
right.
Are there any players on Boston that you are just weirdly in love with or interested in?
Weirdly in love with. Well, I know one for you.
Yeah.
But for me, I guess I could say that like. I don't know. I mean,
Or anybody that you just think is really interesting.
well, I think one of the most interesting players in the league is obviously Marcus Smart, just based on the fact that like,
Winning plays, not showing up on the stat sheet.
oh yeah, and like the fact that like he isn't that talented in many ways, but he purely is good just from being an asshole. His main talent is being an asshole.
And he's literally like strong as like all fuck.
Like you remember that one game against Houston where he basically won them the game?
Oh yeah, because James Harden had 2 offensive fouls.
That's what I'm gonna try to be when I play. Just be a big asshole.
Yeah, that's we're in an intramural team. Like for our floor, we go to IU.
Yeah,
but we have like an intramural floor team, and we're not going to be good. And that's the only way that we have a chance of winning.
Drawing up plays too.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do, which Brad Stevens is also really good at.
I'll talk to him. I'll send him some text.
Of course, hit him up real quick.
So,
who do you find interesting?
Semi Ojala.
Right.
This is a crazy hot take, but I feel like last year there were like 7 rookies who legitimately played winning basketball. Jason Tatum, Ben Simmons, help me add them because I'm sure I'll forget.
Donovan Mitchell. Bam
Adebayo.
And then you have, who else do we have?
Maybe John Collins, question mark?
Maybe John Collins. You could say him.
Is it the Bogdanovich on the
right.
Sacramento?
Do you think Kuzma does? I think Kuzma
does.
Yes,
Kuzma does because he shoots threes.
Yep.
And then the last one, this is really weird. Oh, Josh Hart also.
Josh Hart, definitely.
I apologize.
What about Jarrett Allen?
I couldn't tell you because he plays on Brooklyn.
Fair.
I don't think there's... Imagine that. Somebody told you at the beginning of the year, Los Angeles is going to draft 3 rookies. One that they take second is not going to play winning basketball. He might. Because
Lonzo Ball is such a good defender.
He's just such a good defender, and he's such a good passer. I don't know if he plays winning basketball. Just because his outside shooting and his horrible percentages, that just fucks with me.
Right. I cannot wait to talk about the Lakers for 30 minutes. I'm waiting for the Lakers to pop up.
But my player who I'm trying to make this point with, like you're talking about all these well-known players, all these really good offensive players, these guys who are really well-respected in the league.
Right.
I think Semi Ojeleye also played winning basketball just because he is so strong, so laterally quick. I legitimately think he is a generational defender. Like in the mold of Tony Allen-esque.
See, he's even worse at offense than Andre Robertson, which is...
Well, no, because Andre Robertson can get offensive rebounds.
Right.
Semi Ojeleye shot 28% from 3. Don't quote me on that.
Ojeleye is an absolute zero on offense.
Oh, yeah.
Which is just terrible.
Okay.
I mean, he's lucky that he
32%. That's okay.
Dude, he shot 34% from the field. That's just embarrassing. Like, 34% not from 3, from the field.
Well, I mean, that's just because he only shot.
No, I know, but like, it's just that's kind of his efficient. I mean, I guess it's okay to be an absolute zero on offense when you're in Brad Stevens' system.
And he also has like players around him. And let me say, if he played anywhere that didn't have such good offensive players as Boston,
right,
he couldn't play because he has no offensive impact.
Exactly.
I'm not that dumb.
Right.
But I just think just because he is so good defensively, that's my only claim.
I can honestly see that. I can see that. I would like to see him.
Do you get what I'm saying, at least?
Maybe in a bigger role. If I got to see him in a bigger role, I'd have more of an opinion.
I don't think he's like... he should play like 8 to 12 minutes a game this year, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Yeah. So who else is... You say that there's another one?
My least favorite player on the Celtics. Fuck Marcus Morris.
What?
He's
Marcus Morris.
Like, he's a good defender, but he just takes long 2s and stupid 3s and just fucks with them so much.
No, that's fair.
I shouldn't say fuck Marcus Morris because I do like him. He's a good player. He plays hard.
Right.
I just feel like if he just played a little bit more in Brad Stevens' system, he'd be a little bit better.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think he's still a great player to have coming off his bench. I mean, you have his twins starting for a playoff team.
Barely a playoff team.
Well, okay. We'll get to them in a little bit.
Yeah. But that's pretty much all on Boston. I don't know if you have anything else.
Well, win predictions.
Win prediction? What was your win prediction? I was up there.
I'm going to say like 61 wins.
61. You want to go 63?
You're going to go 63?
No, I'm going to go 65. Do you want to average them at 63?
63. Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. So next,
that
final.
Is high. Fuck.
That is high. I'm only saying 61 just because again like injuries. I feel like they're gonna sit Hayward and Kyrie a fair amount.
And Horford.
And Horford's getting older, and
right.
I feel like that's gonna cause them to lose a few more games.
Very, very, very right. All right.
Rockets.
All right. So I made some notes on Houston, just
Mm-hmm.
about stuff that was interesting. Notable departures from their team. Trevor Ariza.
Right.
Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Luke Mbah-a-Moute.
Huge.
Ryan Anderson.
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares really? But I like Ryan Anderson. I think he's good for Phoenix.
Nah, I mean that trade didn't make any sense.
I think it did. I think it made perfect sense.
Really? Okay.
But we can talk about that trade for a little bit. I think Houston got a quote-unquote point guard who could score.
Brandon Knight.
I don't know if that's true. But they also got Marquise Chris, who is like literally Clint Capella, but a little bit worse.
I'm happy with Marquise Chris. That was the main coup for the trade for me.
Cool. Yeah. And I mean, they get and Phoenix gets Ryan Anderson. They're trying to win, not really win, but at the very least,
they're trying to make things easier for 8 and 2.
Yeah, and I mean that is. Let's be real, Ryan.
Yeah.
Because I mean you can't go wrong.
And Elie Okobo is a pretty underrated player. They got him too, right? Or was it DeAndre Melton? They got Melton. They Right.
drafted Okobo because he went 31st.
Right, because Okobo's looking pretty good.
Okobo's great.
Yeah.
I love Okobo.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about him in a few minutes.
Oh yeah.
But what were we talking about?
We were talking about the trade. I think that's basically it for the trade. They won the trade kinda. But
I don't think either team. I think it just made sense for both teams.
I can see that.
It's a very minor trade.
Continue.
Who else did they lose?
That's pretty much it. They didn't lose a lot of players.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they lost somebody else. No.
No, not really.
Who'd they add? They added Carmelo Anthony.
Right. And
Marquise Chris and Brandon Knight and James Ennis, Michael Carter Williams.
Mm.
James Ennis is very good because that team needs more versatile wings.
Right.
He's great. And James Ennis is cool. Don't make fun of me. I kind of get the Michael Carter Williams signing. It kind of makes sense. Michael Carter Williams is a phenomenal athlete. He should be a great defender based on his length. He should be.
Though.
He should be.
Okay, fine.
He should be.
Sure.
And he's 6'6". I know he can't shoot. I know. Like he can't make layups or do anything else.
Right.
But Houston is in a dire need for stretchy wing players, like long guys.
Okay.
He's 6'6". It's obvious that he's not a point guard.
No.
Why not take just a minimum contract and try to make him play small forward? Why not try it?
I feel like there are other people in the league that
Who
you would have a better chance at that with. Nick Young. Say just get Nick Young for a minimum contract.
You're actually right.
Why would you go for Carter Williams?
Yeah,
there are other better players available.
Jamal Crawford. I guess he doesn't play defense.
No, he doesn't play any defense.
Well, I guess Nick Young doesn't either, and maybe they just want somebody to play defense.
He plays better defense. Michael Carter Williams wasn't good on defense. Like he might look like he is because of he's
I don't know.
tall.
I haven't looked at his opponent field goal percentages and shit.
He was just awful last year.
He was very bad.
Anyway, so the Rockets. Do you think they're gonna improve or get worse from last year?
I think their win total is going to go down because I think they're going to be scared as shit of Chris Paul getting hurt in the playoffs.
Right.
So I don't think that they're like. I think they might legitimately play him like 50 games this season.
I could see that.
And they're gonna James Harden. He's 28, 29.
Mm-hmm.
He's
getting up there.
Yeah, they need to stop playing him so many minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So if they win 52 games, I wouldn't be surprised.
So who do they play in crunch time? That's a
That
huge
5.
question.
I don't think he can play Capella.
I don't know if you can play Capella. I don't know if you can play Anthony. I really don't. So then who are they going to play in crunch time? They're going to
obviously the 2, obviously the 3
with Tucker.
Not that obvious 3.
I think Gerald Green.
Yeah, Gerald Green.
So
and Marquise Chris probably because Marquise Chris can kind of shoot threes.
Not really though.
Well, I think he shot like 28%, 29%.
I guess is that like?
Did he? Am I making that up?
I mean, I don't know. That sounds like something he'd do. Fuck. How do you spell Marquise? There we go.
It's Chris, not Christ. Yeah, 30% 3-point shooter.
Do you even? I mean, I don't know.
Like who else would? James Ennis. We're retarded.
So
we're idiots.
PJ Tucker at center?
Yeah, they did that. They did that against the Warriors.
They did that against the Warriors,
yeah.
I guess. I guess depending on the matchup.
Yeah, play Boogie off the floor. Yeah, of course.
Right.
Yeah, that's the starting 5. It would be Harden, Paul,
and then Joe Green, James Ennis,
PJ Tucker.
Yeah, I could see that. that.
That's their best 5. That's crazy to think that like the tallest player on the court is like literally 6'7". James Ennis is 6'6", 6'7".
Maybe we have a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe one day. Chris Paul's only 6'1", so
Yeah,
I'm,
right.
we're both about 6 flat, right?
Yeah.
You taller than me?
No, you're taller than me.
Really?
You're a pretty tall dude. Yeah.
I'm 6 flat. What are you?
I'm like 5'10" and a half.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So I think that's their best lineup. I think they're also going to win less games. I think they're going to get slightly worse. Their defense going to get slightly worse.
Okay. What's your plus minus? I'm at 54.
54. I'm going to go higher than that. I think that.
I think
the Rockets almost won that many games with just James Harden 2 years ago.
I know, but I don't think Chris Paul is going to play. I feel like Carmelo can make them lose a lot more games.
Well, Carmelo did say he was willing to come off the bench.
But even if he
Is he
does, he's still going to play like 28 minutes, like 20 minutes.
I would give him at least 57. I would give him
57. Okay, 54, 57. Let's call that 55 and a half.
I'm good with that. 55.5. All right,
cool.
So next is Raptors.
I have some other stuff.
Go ahead.
Do I?
I feel like they're pretty simple. They didn't really change that much.
I guess Carmelo's a big question mark. I have no idea. We haven't talked about that though. Raptors are super interesting.
I agree. I'm very interested in them.
What do you think?
One of the best defensive teams in the league. One of the best benches in the league. They have one of the best players in the league.
They're very Celtics-esque.
Definitely. I think they're perfect. I think they have a very legitimate chance of being the Celtics in the playoffs.
Really?
They match up perfectly. Lowry can slow down Kyrie.
Oh, Kyle Lowry's 33.
Kyle Lowry's 33, but he was still a really good defender last year. He was good.
He's okay defensively.
He was pretty good.
I feel like the Kyle Lowry contract is one of the worst contracts in the NBA.
Really?
100%. 100%.
How much longer does it go for?
I don't know, but let me look.
If it's 2 years or above, I can agree with that.
It might be 3 because
it's 3 more years. That's awful. Yeah.
It might be 2.
Let's see. Maybe like contract.
He's only 32, by the way.
I think that he can still
3 years, so there's 2 more deals. There's not a free agent this summer, but the next summer.
Okay, that's not awful.
It's not too. It's definitely awful.
I don't think it's awful.
It's pretty bad.
He's not that bad.
He's not bad. I don't think he is. I think he's. Well, he's a barely above average starting point guard in the league.
Dude, I don't think you could say that.
Think about it. Look, because let's name point guards who are better than him.
Okay.
Steph.
Yeah.
James Harden.
Right.
Chris Paul.
Right. Well, James Harden's not a point guard. He's not playing point guard.
Chris Paul.
So Chris Paul.
Devin Booker.
Okay. He's not.
Well, he's going to play point guard, so I'm putting him in that.
But can you even say that he's better? I mean.
Yes. Devin Booker is miles better than Kyle Lowry.
Okay, you always talk about winning basketball though.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like Kyle Lowry plays more winning basketball in your definition because.
Have you ever seen him play in the playoffs?
Oh yeah, in the play. Well, actually, he was good this playoffs.
Regardless,
he was actually pretty good this playoffs.
Devin Booker is better. Devin Booker is a phenomenal offensive player.
He's a great offensive player, but okay, I mean,
as much as I love to hate on shot chuckers, he's not a shot chucker. He just shoots so efficiently. The reason why they don't win is not his fault. It's because the fucking team is just shit around.
No, definitely. I'm saying that Kyle Lowry plays a different magnitude of defense than he does completely.
Well, Kyle Lowry's an overrated defender.
Awesome.
Kyle Lowry is 6 feet tall.
It doesn't. Yeah, but I'm saying, Chris Paul's 6 feet tall.
Chris Paul's also an overrated defender.
He's still really good.
He's not really good. He's serviceable. They're both serviceable. The reason why Chris Paul people say he's such a good defender is not based on his actual defense and his opponent field goal percentage. It's based on steal numbers.
I don't feel it's steal. I feel it based on his quickness. I feel like he's quick enough to stay with everything.
I'm not saying that they're bad defenders. They're definitely above average defenders, but they're not as good as people say they are. The reason why they're is because they get a lot of steals when they're relatively strong.
Well, let's say that. Well, yeah. I mean, getting steals and being relatively strong and being really athletic is kind of a very good path.
Neither of them are very athletic.
Chris Paul is.
Really?
He's pretty athletic, dude.
I mean, he's kind of athletic, but he's not. I mean, that's just not the style that he plays.
That's fair. Okay. Point being, even if he's slightly above average, let's say that Lowry's slightly above average. That's still a different world than Booker. Booker's really not good defensively.
Okay. Regardless, I'm Devin Booker's in this list, or I sue.
Okay.
So who's in this list so far? Devin Booker, Chris Paul,
Steph Curry,
Kyrie.
Sure.
It was Ben Simmons a point guard.
Yeah, Ben Simmons is a point guard.
Ben Simmons is a point guard. That's 5. Damian Lillard's a point guard.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Westbrook is a point guard.
Right.
Donovan Mitchell is also a point guard.
No, Donovan Mitchell's not a point guard. He was not playing point guard last year.
You're right.
Rubio's on that team.
You're right.
You're still at 8. Oh, there you go. He took it away.
No, I'm at 8 right now. Am I actually?
No, that was 8 with Mitchell. So you got Kemba.
Kemba is definitely
Kemba's better. Is Kemba better? I actually don't even know. Because Kemba's awful defensively, too.
I don't know. Regardless, he's like, okay, so let's say that there's 8 point guards better than him. Because
Right.
we probably forgot one.
Right. Exactly. He's
an okay player.
I mean, like, he's also out. You love 3-point shooting. He's one of the best 3-point shooters in the league.
Yeah.
He's like probably one of the top 10 3-point shooters in the league.
You're right. He's a good player. He's just a little bit overrated, and that ticks me off.
That's fair. So then, anyway, so they got him.
The Raptors.
And then they got Danny Green, Kawhi, right?
That
can guard.
Yeah, their crunch time lineup is fantastic. It's
that can guard the Celtics. That can honestly guard the Celtics starting 3 players.
Yeah, but the Celtics can also guard the Well, here's the thing. Here's the difference.
Can anybody guard Kawhi on that team?
Yes. Jaylen Brown. He's like the best. He's like literally the best perimeter wing in the league already. Defensive wing in the league. Besides Kawhi.
I'm saying because this. I don't know.
They can throw Jason Tatum, Gordon Hayward, Jaylen Brown, Semi Ojeleye, and Marcus Morris at him. And Al Horford if they really wanted to. Actually, I bet Al Horford would guard Kawhi.
You think Al Horford would guard Kawhi Leonard?
He guarded not Gordon Hayward. I don't know why I said that. Giannis in the playoffs. He guarded LeBron.
Well, he didn't do a great job guarding Giannis.
Giannis
went off that series though.
I mean, he guarded Giannis as well as he could.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't guard Giannis.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I mean, especially if you have that lineup and you move Horford out of the paint, like if they have any physical players, then that's kind of a big rip.
Yeah, they have Valanciunas and Ibaka, but they're both trash, and they can just. I think the Celtics team could just not let either of those guys play, just based off 3-point shooting and having a bunch of players who can dribble.
I guess I don't know enough about Ibaka because I thought that he had regressed, but only
I feel like you're still thinking that he's like the Orlando or like late Thunder Ibaka.
No, not late Thunder. He's definitely not late Thunder, but I feel like he's still an average defender and a pretty good 3-point shooter for his position.
He was pretty shit in the playoffs. He was pretty bad.
I guess everybody was pretty shit in the playoffs.
Oh, especially in the Raptors.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But here's the difference between the Raptors and Boston.
What?
Raptors players are great defensively. Everybody except for one player is extremely limited on offense. Because they're that crunch time lineup. On the Raptors, they're starting 5. Their crunch time lineup is going to be...
I wouldn't view Kyle Lowry as one-dimensional.
I don't either. I shouldn't say he's limited. I should just say he's not elite offensively.
That's fair.
And it's going to be Kyle Lowry, Danny Green, Kawhi, OG, and then Pascal.
I feel like you could change... Depending on the matchup, you can't exactly go Pascal.
I think you can. This is another hot take. I feel like Pascal Siakam is a top 15 big in the league when given enough time.
I feel like we have to see him be given enough time.
I feel like he could be top 15 big. He should be.
That's fair. I could see.
He just gets better every year.
I could see that. I honestly could see that because he started extremely raw and he's still developing more skills every year. If he can keep developing.
24.
Yeah.
24.
I could definitely see that. And
back to the difference, if I can split this out.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Raptors players are great defensively, opposed to 2. They only have 2 players who can play offense. The Celtics have 4 amazing defenders in that starting lineup.
Okay.
Every single player on that starting 5 can play offense. That's the difference.
Right.
That's the difference. That's why that team is so good, is because not only can they switch onto every position, but they also have every single player who can pass, dribble, and shoot. That's why they're so good.
And you think that they have that advantage, whereas Toronto doesn't have it, and that'll be the difference in the series?
Just based off those players offensively. And then...
I can see that.
Okay, so what's their bench 5 for Toronto?
Van Vliet, Delon Wright.
Then it would be Valanciunas, Ibaka, and then
CJ Miles. We're forgetting about CJ Miles. CJ Miles is good.
CJ Miles is very good.
So I mean, I think Ibaka's good start.
Regardless of who starts, if Ibaka starts, then it's Pascal and Valanciunas on the bench. Regardless. But
I think that's a really good.
That's a great bench 5. But is that better than Smart, Rozier?
No. Is it?
I don't think so.
I don't know, man. I mean,
who's
really
the
hard.
4? It's Ojeleye is the 4. Would play 4 in their bench 5, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I don't think
it
is, and that could be clouded by Boston.
I think they're the 2 best bench units. I can't decide between the 2, but I think they're definitely the 2 best.
Yeah. Philadelphia's great. Bench is great.
I don't think they have that much depth.
I'm pretty sure they do.
No, I think that's one of Philly's problems.
Really?
Yeah, they don't really have that many. I don't think they have that much depth talent.
Chandler?
He's
McConnell?
Okay.
Redick?
No, Redick's not. No, Redick's starting.
No. Fultz is.
Is Fultz
They
starting?
already came out and said,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. But Who else? What other bigs do they have off the bench?
I think they have like Mike Muscala.
Muscala's great.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Muscala's great. I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
okay.
Yeah, you're right. They're not that good.
No.
Obviously, Golden State's bench is great.
Right.
Los Angeles should have a good bench.
Los Angeles will be interesting. I don't even know who's on their bench right now. Like,
I don't either. Probably Lonzo to start the season, like Kuz,
Right.
Beasley,
and then
Ivan Zubac if he even plays. And then
who even knows that guy? I don't even know what he's
I
doing.
don't either. All right, but back to Toronto.
Right.
The main problem with Toronto, they have one star player. They need another real star.
I mean, I can see what you mean. I honestly can see what you mean, but I feel like Kyle Lowry is good enough to be a second player to get out, not to get out of the East, but to at the very least make the conference finals.
Oh yeah, they're definitely going to make the conference finals. But
Yeah.
the thing with Boston is they have 4 stars. I think. I obviously Kyrie is a star.
You can't say the stars yet. I mean,
Well, I think Jason Tatum is a star already. I think he is.
I mean, like I get that
he
he's
is.
I get that he's really good. But he averaged like 14 points a game.
Well,
last
yeah,
year.
because it's like fucking what's it called? The percentage of the time he used the ball.
No, I know. But
His usage percentage. Usage percentage was like non-existent.
Yeah.
But Kyrie obviously is. Gordon Hayward obviously is. Al Horford obviously is.
Right. They have at least a big 3, at the very least. And at
I
most-
would call it a big 4.5.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because I feel like Jason, Jalen, and Terry Rozier equal 1.5 players of a star player. If that's fair. If that's fair to say.
I'd say that's fair. I can't say Terry Rozier is. Terry Rozier.
Well, no, I'm saying that the combination of Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Terry
Right.
Rozier is 1.5 star players.
Sure.
Based on star value,
Mhm.
whatever that may be.
Right.
But yeah, I just feel like the Raptors definitely need another star, like somebody who can get their own shot whenever he wants it. Because Kyle Lowry can't get his own shot whenever he wants it.
Right.
He can't.
No, he can't. Not really. No.
Like
No.
I don't know. They need a Kyrie Irving. They need a Kemba Walker.
Dude, they have it. I mean, like Kawhi Leonard.
Well, no, they need another. You need 2 players who can get their own shot.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
as like divisive as we are with the Kemba versus Kyle Lowry thing, Kemba Walker can get his own shot whenever he wants it.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And Kyle Lowry can't.
100%. I agree with that.
And they just need another one.
I can see that.
That's fine.
So then, what do you have them winning this year? I have them winning. Go ahead.
50, 60 flat.
Fuck, that's around where I was gonna be.
60 flat.
I'll even go 61. I'll go 61. So if they're at
60.5.
60.5. That's fair. Because I think they're gonna be motivated to try too with Kawhi, definitely.
Awesome.
And then I think one thing we have to do is like kind of mow down like the bad teams. We're not at the bad teams yet, but once we get to like the Pistons and all them, like we can just go through them quickly too.
Yeah.
All
Do you
right.
want to take a break right now, actually?
Yeah, we'll take a break.
Cool. Thanks for listening, guys. That's our first episode, I guess, of that little podcast series. Hope
Yeah.
you guys liked it. Thanks for listening.
Well, so I want to say too that these were the true contenders.
Oh, yeah,
Next
we didn't even say
episode,
that.
we'll get to teams that like we know are gonna make the playoffs, but aren't true contenders. We don't think.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys. Thanks for listening.
Yeah. See you. Bro.